has to come across on a lot of levels, which really threw me off early in my career. And it's like, oh, I just can't draw. That's not enough that I can really draw a nice leaf and, you know, model it. It has to work on other levels too. That was a big shock to me. And now I look for that in all artwork that I see. I go around the halls here and like to look at all the artwork, and what I've eventually come up with is how much energy is it given back to me. I think that is, for me at least, the criteria for evaluating it, no matter what level it's on, from kindergarten to master painter. Is it giving back any energy, and do I feel from that that the artist believed in it? And if the artist doesn't believe in it, why should I? I'm Barbara Ahlbrand. I've been at the Pendleton for 20 years in Cincinnati, and I've studied art all my life. I started my art career when I was in the 6th grade, when my mom and dad, I guess they thought, she's always drawing. She likes this stuff. My big sister got the piano lessons, and I got the art lessons. I started with Miss McCarthy, and she taught in Covington. Her name was Aline F. McCarthy. She was a student of Duveneck, so she was very talented, but a very obscure person. And I went to lessons in her home for about 10 years, I guess. She was very realistic, although she incorporated, like, of course, Duveneck's brushwork, which I still credit today because I like a lot of brushwork and activity. That happens a lot. People look and puzzle over these for a long time. Amazingly, some people recognize these as ceiling fans. Just the agitated air, and beneath that is the figure right here, head down, lying on the bed, where there is repose and no air involvement. So it's just a contrast between those things, and a method that I could use a lot of brushwork and brush stroking. The subject matter is just a vehicle to hang the rest of the stuff on. I don't think the subject matter should take preeminence over the other artistic elements. I think that's when it gets mundane. I'm impressed by those. I mean, I go out and stare at them like, oh, wow, you know, look at that eyeball, look at the reflection and highlight on a gorgeous thing, you know. And then I come in and I think I can do that. And I start, and it's like, as I go and go and go, and it's like, I can't do that. The more I take away, the clearer the personality comes out, or the possible personality, or who is it, or who do I see in there, who do I want to see in there. It's like that piece on the wall there. I've started with kind of a realistic face, and then I scribbled on it. I like it better now, and the red blob underneath it, I'd like to put that on the face with just some elements peeking through, so that you feel like you have to scratch behind the facade of a person. Way out of hand. It's time to like turn it upside down and start all over. Or there's another option, and that would be paint it black.
Black.
Black's always good. Color is an interesting thing because I remember when I went to the Baker Hunt Foundation and took some art classes with, some contemporary teachers, and they introduced me to arbitrary color along with contour line. And coming from a classic drawing background, I'm like, why would you want to paint it any color than what it is? It's like that just doesn't, that's just putting trouble on your plate, something else to worry about. Well, after I got over that hump, I've come all the way to now thinking it doesn't matter what color you use. And sometimes it's really just fun, and it almost always works. I guess it's just being so involved in the piece that you can put your brush down into any color and put it on there, and it'll hold, because it's more about the stroke and the energy that it went down with.
Throw paint at it.
Yeah. I used to stab them and stuff, like the canvases. I usually stick to daytime hours, and I'm down here probably 4 days a week. And they're not all productive hours. I mean, there are long periods of you come in and instead of painting, you clean the tubes and sweep the floors and trying to grind yourself up into some sort of idea. It's terrible when you can handle the stuff, but you don't have anything to say. And everybody says just start doing it, and it's the hardest thing to do. That's why I have this assortment of work, because I like to think about it as much as to do it. So I'm not very productive, in comparison with a lot of people that have been working this long. They have warehouses full of stuff, and I'm rather skimpy and stingy with putting down my thoughts.
It's kind of exciting not being so controlled.
But it's all I can handle. So at every turn, there was just something amazingly new to me. Any practical reason for me to do this. It's just serendipitous, I guess. Today, it's still the same thing. There's so much I don't know that I'm experiencing something new and exciting at every turn.